This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy. Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn to a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess. At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders. FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu. These long dog days of summer, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to, probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. When it comes to online college, Southern New Hampshire University is so good, it's scary. Listen, the facts don't lie. SNHU has degree programs that fit your goals, online classes that fit your life, and real support at every step. And if that wasn't enough, they've got some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. This is an airtight case, you guys. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to get started. That's snhu.edu/morbid. Hey, weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Elena.
And this is Morbid. You guys, who is excited to go to our live show?
Radio City
Music Hall,
in New York
27th.
City.
We'll see you there, or you're a square.
Exactly. Go get your tickets. Go to Ticketmaster.
Go to Ticketmaster. That is the only place that we're going to lead you because there are other sites, unfortunately, where people can scoop up tickets and sell them for prices that we did not approve.
Shit. Yeah.
We did not approve the prices if they look crazy to you.
Yeah, if they look nuts to you, wasn't us. So
Wasn't me.
wasn't me.
Much like Shaggy, it wasn't me.
But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Maybe we'll do a kick line. You don't know.
We are absolutely doing a kick line.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Why'd you shake your head at that?
I'm positive.
I'll be sitting in a chair. I'll do one from a chair.
Yeah, Mikey can do one from a chair.
Line.
But Debbie's already bringing her tap shoes.
Yeah.
She's ready to go.
Exactly.
So let's go, girls.
Let's fucking do it. We also we have a lot of fun stuff going on. We just recorded our bonus episode for March.
It was so fun, guys. You're gonna love it.
We had a special guest on. I think we already told you. We had
it was
Chef
our book
Riley,
club.
Our book club.
We covered Postmortem by none other than Patricia Cornwell.
Z Patrice.
Our girl Patricia. It's such a fun book. So it's the beginning of the Kay Scarpetta series.
Loved it.
With the show coming out, this is a great place to start because the show covers this book. It's the first book. Or at least partially does. So definitely a cool place to look. And it's in paperback. It can fit in your back pocket.
It's fittable.
It's a fittable book in your back pocket, and it's a good one to start with. We had Chef Riley Meehan on, and we talked about all things Patricia and all things postmortem and all things delicious food.
It's a really good episode. I think you got. It's like I love the bonus episodes because we can be a little more loosey and silly.
It was fun.
It was fun.
And we filmed that one. That one's on actual video.
Yes.
So you're going to get to watch it as well.
We're
which
going
is
to
fun.
try to do that every now and again for you.
Yeah, we're going to do it as much as we possibly can.
It's easier with like bonus episodes because like, you know, the
Yeah.
content is a little more
Yeah, it's
palatable
a little looser.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And also, if you're looking for more books to satisfy your craving for knowledge.
Yeah, I like
and
know this girl who wrote a few
stories.
books. Do you know her?
I do. And you can get the Butcher Legacy at butcherlegacy.com.
It was
You
a
can get
really
it
missed
anywhere.
opportunity for you to for you to not say I am her.
I thought that was implied, but
Oh, it is, but I wish you had stood on business with
I
it.
am her.
Thank you. Stand on the business.
Go get it. Go get it. Go
Get it.
pre-order it. It's coming out August 11th. It's pretty. You know who thinks it's great?
Tell me.
Patricia Cornwell.
I knew that
So I'm gonna be insufferable about that for the rest of my life.
As you should be.
Yep, gonna do that.
As you
so
should be.
Patricia read it. And she liked it. She thinks Kay and Ren could be BFFs.
She
and
thinks that it's the bee's knees.
I can lay down and pass over to the other side now. I won't.
I was going to say,
but
we
I
have
could.
a lot to do, so don't do that, please.
So there's that. And you can, you know, when the paperback comes out, which it won't come out for a little while, you can stick that in your back pocket with Postmortem.
Oh my God, you guys have a lot going on in your pockets.
So many back pockets.
You guys are going to need those like utility pants.
You really are. Get some cargo pants.
Yeah,
And you
they're
can
trendy.
stick tons of books in there.
Yeah, just throw them in there.
Yeah, if you're a mood reader, that's the dream.
Yeah, you
You
always
never know
have
what
something.
you want. So let's go.
I am a mood reader.
I'm a mood reader.
I get that.
Yep. Just throwing this out there since we're talking about books. I just finished Memorials by Richard Chismar.
Ooh.
Who also likes the Butcher Legacy.
Yeah.
And
Another one.
another one. I love Richard Chismar, and Memorials blew my fucking socks off.
Wow.
Go read that book.
Okay.
Go read that book. Go read that book.
Okay.
I finished listening to it on the way home the other day, and I was in the car by myself, and at one point I went, "Holy shit!" out loud. I go read that book. I'm
love
telling
that.
you, it's an awesome book. It's like Appalachia horror.
Oh, fuck.
He does suburban horror on the front cover, Stephen King blurbed his book and said no one does suburban horror like Richard Chismar, and I fully agree with my friend Stephen.
Wow. What a feather in your cap.
What a
Stephen to
feather.
say that.
Can you imagine?
No.
Like,
I don't think Stephen would say that
Good
about
for
me, though,
Richard.
so I can't put Richard's shoes on in that one. I think
not in that one.
I'm not quite sure what Stephen would say about me, but it's
Maybe
not
someday
that.
we'll find out.
Stephen, tell us.
Stephen,
Tell us
know.
about us.
Stephen, come on the show. Let
Hey,
us know.
Stephen.
But yeah, but he's right. So if you're looking for like a cool suburban horror with some Appalachia shit in it, that's going to literally make you scream at the end.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Memorials by Richard Chismar.
I love
really
that.
good. I just finished it, so I just wanted to tell you all.
So I want to tell you about it.
And you know what else I want to tell you?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Lindbergh baby kidnapping today.
Oh, shit.
One of our most requested cases.
Yeah, people have been dying for this one, like,
Yeah.
since we started the show.
Yeah, and I'm shocked that we just never covered it.
Yeah, that's actually very surprising. For some reason, I thought we had, but I know we
Because
haven't.
We definitely covered it on like Crime Countdown and stuff. So I
Yeah.
think we talked about it.
And I think we
But-
talked about it, like, very briefly when we did the, was it the Sumner children?
Yeah, I think we definitely have mentioned it. It's come up.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about true crime, it comes up.
Yeah, it's a big case. It's one of the biggest kidnapping cases and one of the big cases really in American history. But we just want to be clear here that, like, I guess there has been some things that have come out about Charles Lindbergh that have definitely tarnished his once like all-American spotless reputation, I would say. So I just want to be clear that, like, that sucks that he's not great. But,
Yeah,
like,
he's pretty fucking terrible.
but we just wanted to cover the case because, one, you guys have requested it forever, for
Yeah.
years, and two, it's a fascinating case about a baby.
Right,
that
it's
was
not
stolen.
about, it's really not about Charles
Stolen
Lindbergh
out of
at
their
the end
crib.
of the day.
Yeah, it's not about it. At the end of the day, it's about what happened to his son.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we just wanted to make that has come to our attention through researching this, and like we just wanted to mention it. So he's definitely got a tarnished reputation for sure.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't aware of until recently.
Same.
But yeah, It's a crazy case.
The more you know.
And we will be getting a little more into probably his tarnished reputation in part 2, I would
Okay.
say, when we're talking about like theories and shit.
Okay, cool.
So we will like touch upon it more, but we just wanted to put that out there.
All right.
Yeah. So let's go.
Show me to me, Rachel. Am I dumb or is this unsolved?
No, it's solved.
Oh, it is solved.
There's somebody that was caught. But there is some mystery surrounding it though.
Okay.
So that's something interesting. And the whole thing is just very spooky the way it all happened and still doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I knew there was like weird elements to this
There's definitely
case.
weird elements to it. So we're going to start with who Charles Lindbergh was, because the whole thing around this is that Charles Lindbergh was a very well-known man.
Yeah.
So Charles Augustus Lindbergh, he was born February 4th, 1902. What is he?
Is he a Pisces? I gotta get better at
Could've
this.
fooled
If
me.
my teacher's listening right now, she's like, are you fucking kidding
I gotta
me?
get better at this.
February 4th. People don't want me to get better at it.
They like hearing you say the
Aquarius.
thing. Aquarius.
I'm so bad at that stuff.
So he's an Aquarius. He was born in Detroit, Michigan. He was the only child born to Evangeline and Charles Lindbergh Sr.
Names were just better back then.
Evangeline and Charles had Charles Jr.
Oh my God, Evangeline. I
yeah.
would never fuck with a bitch named Evangeline.
Oh, what a name.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of Princess and the Frog when Raymond is singing about his Evangeline.
Oh, I still haven't seen that the whole way through.
We gotta watch it.
I know,
So
I do
good.
want to watch it because the girls say that I'm like one of the characters.
You're Lottie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Lottie is awesome.
I know her.
Yeah, Lottie's the best. But he grew up on a small farm in rural Little Falls, Minnesota. And Lindbergh remembered his childhood as pretty idyllic.
Nice.
Had a pretty great childhood.
With a mom named Evangeline.
How could it not be? He said, I spent hours lying on my back in high timothy and red top, hidden from passerby. White cumulus clouds drift overhead, staring into the sky.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's fucking poetic as
Yeah.
hell.
But however, charming and beautiful those early years were, it's not like they didn't have like some difficulty in them. In 1905, when Charles was just 3 years old, the family farm burned to the ground.
Oh, fuck.
3 years later, his parents separated, Evangeline and Charles.
Which was very uncommon, I feel like, back then.
And Charles would end up living the rest of his childhood with his mother.
Okay.
With
so
Evangeline.
did he see his dad?
He did. So they relocated to Washington, D.C. after the divorce. So he really only saw his dad kind of like sporadically, which definitely probably had like an influence on how he parented later. I think. But for most of his adult life, Charles Lindbergh was an American icon. That's part of this case. Like
Right.
people know who he is. He was an American icon, but he's a tarnished American icon now with what we know. Things that have come out over time. He was an aviation guy. But guy. That's the technical term for it.
Yeah, of course.
Aviation guy, aviator. He he had this ability to take control of his own narrative.
Okay.
Which I think a lot of people that are successful for better or worse in life,
They do have that
they are
quality.
able to take control of their own narrative.
Yeah.
And could frame themselves a certain way. So he would frame himself as very heroic. He was just really good at kind of putting that out there.
That's also very Aquarian in nature.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, reporters, the American people, they were all very happy to accept this narrative as well. And it's not that he like lied about his past or, like anything like that. But given the choice between like just bland reality and like a little embellishment, he probably picked a little embellishment.
Like Gatsby.
He had a very Gatsby-esque way about him. I think he would kind of overstate the facts. He would minimize inconvenient truths. Like, for example, when speaking of his family life after his parents' divorce, he wrote, "They continued to care for each other, although they were seldom together." And it's possible that that's how he remembered things, that they cared for each other, they just weren't together a lot. But historian Stanley Shapiro kind of challenges that for part of his history.
Okay.
He said his father was a stern man imbued with righteous populism. The parental expectations placed upon young Lindbergh were severe. So this like idyllic parent kind of situation, like
Might not have
father,
been real.
might not have been like totally true, but who knows? That's what he believes.
Yeah.
so.
Well, it's also like you got to listen to the actual
It's
source.
his reality.
Right.
So regardless of how they treated one another on the occasions that they were together, his parents' attitudes and expectations of their son were definitely at odds.
Yeah.
In the eyes of Evangeline, Charles could do absolutely no wrong. Just perfect child, kind of like showered him with attention and affection. Like it's
He's an
her
only child.
And so Shapiro wrote, she lavished attention on Charles, leaving little room in his adolescent life for anything else.
Yeah, that's rough.
Charles Sr., on the other hand, was very rigid in his beliefs and how he presented himself to the world. He was a U.S. congressman from 1907 to 1917.
Wow.
And he stressed that his sons, and I don't think this is a terribly bad outlook, he really wanted his son to embody the principles of stoicism,
Okay.
like be unshakable.
Yeah.
And he encouraged him to be, among other things, thrifty, self-sufficient, and intensely private, which I think he learned from his own...
Yeah, career in politics.
He was a congressman. He's like, this is what I've got.
I don't think those are necessarily bad. I
No.
think,
he was probably a little overbearing with it. So
yeah, the last one could be shaky.
yeah. But according to Shapiro, the conflicting messages that he got from his parents left him like in this like weird paradox of like not understanding what he was supposed to be.
Because those are two very opposite ends of the
Yeah,
spectrum.
because his mom's like, you're a star, you're the best, everybody should know how amazing you are. And his dad's like, be so fucking private and stoic. Like, and he's like, what?
Hello? He's like,
Which
can I find a
one?
middle ground perhaps?
So he had this like deep desire for fame because he was like, I can achieve it.
Yeah.
Like, I know it. And he wanted recognition as well. But he also wanted to demand privacy for himself, which
is
can
tough.
be tough.
Yeah.
So as a result of his father's career in politics and his mother's desire to provide her son for literally everything she could, any opportunity, Charles spent his youth bouncing from one school to another, eventually attending more than a dozen before graduating from Little Falls High School in 1918. From there, he enrolled at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where he studied engineering.
Oh, wow.
Smart guy. But he dropped out in the middle of his sophomore year because he wanted to pursue an interest in aviation.
Okay.
Which
sounds
ended up
like it was
being a good
plan.
thing.
Yeah.
After leaving the University of Wisconsin, he enrolled at the Nebraska Aircraft Corporation's flying school in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Imagine just going to flying school.
Yeah, just becoming an aviator. And being an aviator, like I'm going to talk about it, was like such a badass thing.
Oh,
back then.
yeah.
I had
It's
such
brand
a, like a
new.
mystique to it.
Yeah.
But he started learning the basics of aircraft maintenance and would eventually learn how to pilot an airplane. It's at this time that his heroic biography starts to take shape. Like this
Okay.
is where it all kind of begins. In 1924, after just 2 years in Nebraska, he enlisted in the National Guard and eventually became captain of the Missouri National Guard. From there, he continued his aviation career. He took a job with the Postal Service, where he would fly mail back and forth between St. Louis, and Chicago.
Yeah.
Now, although air travel is very commonplace today, like you look up in the sky right now.
It's not going so well, but
It's not
common.
It's not going swimmingly right now, but it's very common. There was a time when the possibility of traveling by airplane was completely off limits to anyone outside of the military.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't until 1914 that commercial air travel was made available to the public. And even then, it was so expensive that it prohibited most people from being able to. And it was very, very limited in where you could actually travel by plane.
I'm sure, yeah.
Those restrictions and the truly, I mean, even now, flying is remarkable. It's magic.
I try not to think about it too much when I'm in the air. When I'm on land, I think about it a lot.
It's remarkable. And especially then, it made air travel at that time especially seem so exciting and adventurous to the
Yeah.
American public. Like, it really was that, like,
I must
we're
go
just
up.
flying through the sky. So the role of the aviator was romantic. It was dangerous. It was commanding respect.
It's kinda
job.
hot.
Yeah. I mean, truly, you're flying.
You're flying.
You're flying a goddamn plane.
You're soaring, you're flying.
Respect. The amount of pilots I follow, not because they're hot, but because, like, I should be clear about that, men and women. But
Not because they're hot.
not that they're all hot in some way because they're flying a plane through the
Yeah.
sky. So that's pretty amazing.
That's a hot quality.
But I love following pilots because they make me feel better about flying.
Yeah.
And like kudos to them for taking a second to make me feel better about flying.
Honestly.
But to a man like Charles Lindbergh, with his deep interest in mechanical engineering and, you know, this desperate need for fame and recognition,
This is perfect.
it wasn't a surprise that he was drawn to this field.
No.
In the 1920s and 30s, as aviation technology was advancing, air shows and flying competitions just exploded in popularity.
Papa
Loved
loves an air show.
He does.
Loves an air
He
show.
loves it.
Hurts my
I've
neck.
been to so many air shows.
Me too.
As a kid. And while some air shows focused on aviators and others performing like super daring stunts,
Yeah,
there
it's
was
very cool.
wing walking, barnstorming. Barnstorming, I looked it up, is they would like fly to like a field, like they would essentially just land in a field where like a barn field kind of thing.
Okay.
And they would start, and then they would take off and start doing these like crazy stunts, like just like storming the barn kind of thing. Like it was named like that.
The like, shit used to be so cool.
It was like,
Was
what the
wing
fuck?
walking like while it was flying?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh yeah. Wing walking is crazy if you look at videos.
What?
Yeah. It's
I want
nuts.
to see that.
So the other competitions, so they would do like these daring stunts, but other competitions focused on the more technical aspects of aviation, like long distance flights that emphasized the potential of flying,
Yeah.
like what could be the future. It was during this time as a pilot for the Postal Service that Lindbergh became interested in these flying competitions and eventually became convinced he could fucking win one.
Let's
He was
fucking
like,
go.
Get me in there. In the mid-1920s, a winning pilot would not just walk away with a large sum of money, he would also earn insane respect and admiration and fame all over the world. In 1927, Charles was determined to enter this one particular competition. It was being promoted by Raymond Ortigue, the French-American hotel magnate. Ortigue was offering $25,000, and this is in 1927.
Damn.
To the first pilot to successfully complete a nonstop flight across the Atlantic from New York to Paris.
Scary.
Now, that spring, Lindbergh found financial backing from several businessmen in St. Louis. And on May 27th, 1927, he took off from the Roosevelt Field on Long Island, New York.
Long Island.
In the decades since Lindbergh's successful flight, this story has been told and retold so many times. According to Stanley Shapiro, no opposing version can prevail against it. So it's just, this was a badass
Is what it
thing.
is.
Yeah. The facts are pretty difficult to dispute. He did it. Like
Yeah.
and the whole thing is so like romantic and dangerous and has
Yeah.
this mystique to it that it also gives you a little insight into how he just rocketed to fame after
Right.
this. Now, at the time, Charles was 25 years old. So as Shapiro points out, he looked much younger than that as well. Like he had a very youthful appearance.
A bit of fist.
And he was frequently referred to in the press as a boy, not a man, which I'm like, he's 25.
Yeah, let's call him a man.
Let's not refer to him, like, let's not infantilize him.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
And Lindbergh was young, obviously, but 25 is still a grown man.
Yeah.
And he was conventionally handsome. And he was also said to have lived a very chaste life. He avoided drinking.
Oh.
He didn't smoke. And he wasn't like a womanizer. Basically, in like pretty simple terms, he was like an ideal role model for young Americans of the time. And the fact that he would take on such like a magical, incredible, remarkable, dangerous journey like that.
Yeah.
Everyone saw it as this perfect metaphor for like the indomitable American spirit of
Right.
the time. You know what I mean? Like, because that was the time when it was like, you're really looking for those kind of
heroes.
symbols. And Lindbergh's receipt of the prize made him an instant celebrity. And when he landed in Paris at the end of the whole thing, a crowd of more than 150,000 people lifted him out of the cockpit of the plane.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be
He
overwhelming.
basically just like crowd surfed over a tarmac.
Paris.
The Spirit of St. Louis, was the name of his plane. And it reportedly they carried him on their shoulders for almost 30 minutes.
Here's a picture.
Yep, see?
For almost 30 minutes.
Yeah, according to Shapiro, it was the romance of Lindbergh's, quote, boy hero. And Shapiro points out that a lot of like the Lindbergh romance kind of thing resides in his underdog status.
Yeah.
He certainly did not have the credentials of his competitors or their elaborate, expensive organizations. That outsider status pretty much inspired much of the newspaper coverage. Because again, like he was just this random guy.
Yeah.
That was, like he's just entering it, like he said. And he had to get backing from like a bunch of other people to do this.
Right.
So to a certain extent, Charles Lindbergh had always believed all the overwhelming praise and adulation that had been heaped on him by his mother,
Yeah.
which is like a good thing in a way. Like you want to,
Well, yeah, that's the whole reason
point
his
is
mom
to
did
raise
that.
a confident, self-assured kid,
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, he had a little bit of an overinflated self-esteem thing going
it
on there.
happens.
But honestly, like stupid confidence sometimes will get you really far.
I think so.
Like sometimes I have stupid confidence.
And look at you.
Sometimes I have incredible imposter syndrome. I am never neutral. I
Well,
am
I
either
think-
totally imposter syndrome or stupid confidence.
I think a lot of successful people have that
It's just
very
like
same
no-
makeup. Like
no
there's not
neutral.
a middle ground.
Yeah, like I'm never
And
just coasting.
It makes sense, like especially that he didn't have a middle ground because, like we were just saying, like his mom really boosted him, and his dad didn't not boost him or give
But
him
was
his
like,
due.
be stoic, be private. Be,
Yeah, but was
you know.
telling him the opposite thing.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But his successful flight across the Atlantic and the newfound fame that came with it, it really only strengthened his belief that he was special and he was destined for great things, which if I fly across the Atlantic, I'd be insufferable.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank NA, member FDIC. Terms apply. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Now, in the wake of his flight, Charles signed endorsement deals. Like, that was like a thing.
Wow.
With mobile oil, vacuum oil.
I love advertising just always being a thing.
Yeah, just always.
Throughout
always
life.
an endorsement. And a lot of other companies, and sold the exclusive rights to his story to the New York Times for over $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which now would be like insane money.
Outrageous.
I mean, $1 million is insane money anyways.
But it would be astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in December 1927, he accompanied his financial advisor, Dwight Morrow, on a trip to, which is such a financial advisor name.
I know. I
Dwight
almost
Morrow.
said that. Yeah.
Yeah. He went with him on a trip to Mexico that would change his life in a lot of ways. At the time, Dwight Morrow was an executive with J.P. Morgan.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah, I've ever heard of him.
You don't touch the Morgan letters.
That's the New York Housewives. That's a great one. You should watch it.
Watch that. Absolutely.
That's so good. But he was an executive with J.P. Morgan and the U.S. ambassador to Mexico. And when they landed in Mexico, Lindbergh and Morrow were greeted by a crowd of over 150,000 enthusiastic people.
He's like the original Beatles.
Yeah, all hoping to get a look at this American hero. And among them was Morrow's daughter, Anne, who'd arrived a few days earlier. Now, Anne took an immediate liking to Charles, of course.
Yeah, duh.
But he did to her as well. Now, at the time, Anne was attending Smith College and wanted to be a writer.
Hell yeah.
And she was like, I'm not focused on marriage. Like,
Good for her.
I'm looking to get my career going.
Oh, honey, we love a career-focused queen.
And the same could be said for Charles, who, after winning that prize, the Ortigue Prize, he received more than 100,000 marriage proposals.
That's
100,000 marriage proposals.
women. I love you. We have to get to know a man.
I was going to
before
say we don't know
propose
him.
marriage.
We don't know him.
He could be so many different things.
Exactly.
And some of them could be fantastic and some of them not so much. And that's why we date.
Yeah, we can't just propose marriage to Charles Lindbergh after he wins a prize.
No,
okay?
that's a little cuckoo.
Yeah. But he later wrote in his autobiography, I had always taken for granted that someday I would marry and have a family of my own, but I had not thought much of it.
Well, he's 25.
Yeah. He said, in fact, I had never been enough interested in any girl to even ask her to go on a date.
Wow.
I think he was just so focused on his own shit. He just wasn't. He was like Anne.
Yeah.
Anne was focused on her shit. And she was like, I got time. I don't
Yeah.
need to worry about that.
Yeah.
He was the same way. He was like, I'm not worried about that.
Let's go.
Now, despite what seems like their respective disinterest in romance at this point, they hit it off immediately. Like,
Well,
I
sometimes
think they
the
were
universe
waiting for each other.
Well, that's the thing. I think your universe sometimes the universe leads you to your person
Yeah,
like that.
I think that's what it was.
When
It,
you're
like,
ready,
brought
too.
them together. Mm-hmm. And soon they were dating exclusively. And Anne later wrote in her diary, the man I was to marry believed in me and what I could do, and consequently, I found I could do more than I realized. On May 27th, 1929, they married in a small, simple ceremony. It was at her family's estate in New Jersey. A little over a year later, the couple's first child, Charles Jr., was born on Anne's 24th birthday.
Stop it.
June 22nd, 1930. So to everyone on the outside looking in, they appeared to be living the American dream. So the Lindberghs were already one of the nation's most famous couples by the time Charles Jr. was born.
Makes sense.
And his birth was just one more reason for them to, America's favorite couple at this point, to appear on newspapers, all like covers around the globe. Mm-hmm. Everywhere they went, reporters weren't far behind, snapping photos, reporting on their activities, no matter how mundane they were. It was very much the paparazzi of like yore.
He's not adhering to that rule his dad taught him.
No. So when Charles and Anne began construction on their new home in Hopewell, New Jersey, not far from Anne's parents in Englewood, the press couldn't get enough of it.
Let people live private lives.
Yeah,
like let,
truly.
let
Especially
people's
with a kid.
homes be private.
And when they have a kid or
Yeah.
like kids, leave
Leave
them
them
alone.
alone.
Now, built on 339 acres,
I'm sorry. What?
339 acres.
I can't even conceive of that.
It's like just a forest.
I thought two was a lot.
Yeah.
Damn. Acreage
is a lot.
Acreage is so expensive.
Like,
Do you know
it's
how much acreage costs?
Yeah. Acreage is serious.
Acreage is a fucking concept.
acres.
Fucking A.
And it was of remote land in a forested area of Hopewell. So it was very remote, very away from
Which
everything.
like love but hate.
It's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
The Lindbergh house was to be kind of a compound where Anne and Charles could grow their family and live out the rest of their days together. And among other things, there was plenty of room for a literal runway, plain runway.
I mean, they had over 300 acres.
There was plenty of room for it, and he intended to build one. He was going to have a runway.
It just breaks my heart because like you wish that they got to live out like their actual parenting dream. Like obviously it did
Because you just
not
never
go to plan.
like now you just don't know what it would have been like. What would that kid's life have been?
Yeah,
What
and
would
then
their
you're
life as a family have been?
and you're left just asking those exact questions forever.
It's
Like,
just a bummer.
Yeah.
Like a real bummer. It's
so
a tragedy. It also, this place had limited access to like cars coming in, which was great for privacy. So
Yeah,
it was that
quiet.
fun little. But construction on the house began in summer of 1930 and was pretty complete when Charles and Anne decided to begin staying at the house overnight in February of 1932. At first, they would only spend their weekends at the house in Englewood, but were otherwise living with Anne's parents at their house nearby. And March 1st, which was a Tuesday, was the first weekday the family spent the night at the new house.
okay.
This kidnapping happens on the first weekday that they spent at this house. They had not spent a weekday there before.
That's interesting.
Now, a few days earlier, Charles Jr., the bébé, had been sick with a light cold. And by the morning of March 1st, it looked like Anne had gotten the cold because,
Of course. She's
you
the
know,
mama.
always. Assuming she would need some help with the baby, Anne called their nursemaid, Betty Gow, and asked her to come to the Englewood estate that morning. So Betty spent the day helping Anne around the house, and around 7:30 p.m., she started getting Charles Jr. ready for bed. that night, Betty dressed Charles Jr. in a flannel shirt that she'd made for the afternoon,
Stop it.
diapers, rubber pants, and a one-piece Dr. Denton sleep suit.
So cute.
And also
Rubber
placed,
pants, question mark?
they were a thing, I guess.
Really?
Back then. Yeah, like rubber sheets, but like rubber pants.
But pants. I
for
think
like no leakage.
would probably be so fucking uncomfortable.
Absolutely. I'm sure it was awful.
Yeah.
But they
I'm not saying she did anything
Yeah, they just had no idea.
I'm just like, holy fuck.
But Anne also placed thumb guards on each thumb to prevent Charles from sucking his thumb. That was the thing.
really?
And she wrapped strings around the guards and secured them to the sleeves of the outfit so they wouldn't fall off.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like that. It's very interesting how they would put babies to sleep then.
Yeah. Well, it's changed so much and so frequently from
yeah.
like then to now.
Because like with SIDS and everything, like
Yeah.
so different. Because then once he was placed in the crib, he was covered with a blanket that Betty then pinned to the mattress with 2 large safety pins,
Oh, that's interesting.
which like keeps them in place.
Yeah.
So they can't like roll around.
and they can't smother themselves.
Exactly. Now,
She
although
was doing the damn thing.
she did the damn thing. Now, although it was still pretty cold outside, Anne cracked the window just a little bit just before leaving the room to let some fresh air
he had a
circulate.
cold.
Because he had a cold.
She was burping the room.
Yeah, she was burping. That's Ash
weird.
just told me about burping the room.
That's weird. We were literally just talking about
Yeah.
it this morning.
And what is it? It's a
Oh, it's a German word. Luften?
Luften.
Luften.
And it means like airing out the house.
Yeah,
right?
like you just like open up the windows and
let the house burp.
yeah, you literally
know?
let the house burp.
I like that. So that's what she was doing, letting the room burp.
Yeah.
Now Charles arrived, like Big Charles arrived home that evening.
Big
Big
Charles.
Charles. He came home around 8:30 p.m. And after he had attended a meeting at Pan American Airways, the offices in New York earlier in the day. He's doing big things. He had been scheduled to appear as the guest of honor at a dinner held by New York University that evening. But because of an issue with scheduling, he decided he was too overbooked. And he was like, so he skipped the dinner and he was like, I just want to go home.
That's nice that he just wanted to be with his
Because like
family.
his kid's sick. He's just like, my
yeah,
wife's
and his
sick.
wife is sick now.
After coming home, he had dinner with Anne while the handful of staff in the house, including Betty, the nursemaid, retired to their homes for the evening.
Okay.
Now, Anne and Charles finished dinner a little after 9 p.m., and they were sitting in the living room together when Charles heard a noise he later described as the top slats of an orange box falling off a chair, which I assumed to be in the kitchen.
Okay.
So
What does that
I'm
mean?
assuming he's just thinking like a box of oranges, like a like a wooden box, like a crate. He
I'm
was talking like
picturing-
the top slat falling off.
I'm real dumb in this moment. I was picturing an orange colored box. I was like, what the was that?
You're
a
like, how
thing
did
back
he know
then?
that?
Yeah. I was like, he hears
what
colors.
does that sound like?
Synesthesia?
But he asked Anne whether she heard the sound, and she was like, no, I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
And this is where I'm just a complete crazy person because if I hear a slight noise, and I'm not saying he did anything wrong. Let me be clear about this. I'm just saying I am sick. If
I'm just
hear
saying I have a fucking
the
problem.
amount of times that my kids, when they go to sleep, they always have books in their bed. And one of my kids loves to draw before bed or like color.
Yeah.
And so she'll have like, markers or like a pad of paper in her bed or like a coloring book.
And without fail.
They will slide off the bed at some point and slam on the ground. And it makes the same sound every time. And we know that's what it is. And John always knows. He's like, that is just their book falling off. I have
be
to
sure.
run upstairs and check.
Oh, yeah.
Something in my brain is like, don't let that be the one time something happened.
No,
and we
it's
didn't
true.
Check. And even though it's like, it's a sickness, but whatever.
I think that's actually OCD.
Is it?
I think that's a form of OCD.
Interesting. Because I literally am like, if I don't go up there and check, it's going to be the one time that something happened that I didn't check.
That's literally the definition of OCD.
Interesting.
Yeah, you should have that checked out.
I'm learning a lot of things about myself lately.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You might-
that's one of those things.
There's a form of OCD that's related to becoming a parent.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Sheena Shea got it from
Oh,
it.
okay.
I'm not laughing. I'm just
No,
saying like that
like,
I'm relating it
that's-
back to Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah,
It's
of
funny.
course.
But yeah, I wonder if you have that.
That'd be interesting. I should talk to my doctor about it.
I mean, sometimes moms are just like,
Exactly.
you're just insane.
Yeah.
And and as you should be.
Yeah. Like it's like full on, like
Yeah.
you feel crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you're just like-
oftentimes when they stay at my house, I can't sleep.
yeah. It's
I get
it's
it.
literally is one of those things.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Look
a
at me
crazy
just saying
person.
oftentimes.
Often.
The way I introduced that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I liked that.
I feel better than everybody.
I liked
right
it a
now.
lot.
Oftentimes.
You know what? Oftentimes.
I might say scarce, but
You
I
might.
also say
You might.
oftentimes.
You might, but you know what? It's okay.
But anyway.
we let you live.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers to living.
Cheers, Mama.
Okay.
I picked up my drink at the perfect time.
Cheers to scarce. Cheers to scarsing. And to St. Louising. Cheers.
We literally both are we all right now?
We're not.
Hello.
We're drinking our little
because
Dr.
we're having-
Peppy and our Olipop.
Having sody pop. Oh, bitch
There we
has nails
go.
over
I
there
can
now.
do it. So you know,
That was a weird break.
He hears the sound. That
Of
was
an
just me letting you
orange-colored
guys know
box.
that I'm like a cuckoo nut man.
I get it.
I run upstairs and it's always their book on the floor.
Yeah.
But so Anne was like, yeah, I didn't hear anything. So again, that's also him being like, oh, maybe I just heard something I didn't.
Yeah.
And they've got an entire staff in the house. So like noises are probably pretty common in the
prevalent.
house at night. Now, about an hour later, as Charles and Anne were getting ready to bed, Betty decided to check on the baby one final time before going to bed herself.
So she lived in the house?
Yeah, she
Like
lived
when
in the
she
house.
watched the kid?
So yeah, she was like, you know what, I'm going to bed. It was like a live-in staff, like you said. But she was like, I'm just going to check on the baby one more time. She'd checked on him about 45 minutes after putting him in the crib. But she was like, he was sleeping soundly, but he's been sick lately. So like, I just want to do another check. So the lights were off. The room was pretty dark when she went in there. She left it. And as soon as she walked through the door, she was like, wow, it's a lot colder in here than I thought it would be. And she's like, maybe, I don't know, like, I didn't think I had opened it very wide. And she looks and the window is open wider than she remembered leaving it.
Fuck.
Which
My heart is beating out of my chest right
the
now.
pit in my stomach that I feel in that one sentence of like, it was open wider than she left it
Yeah.
is deep.
I also can't imagine how I don't know how this all shakes out. So let me just say, I can't imagine how this poor woman felt in this moment
Because she did nothing wrong.
She did nothing wrong, but that's not your child, so you're immediately like
The guilt would be
like you must feel at
unbelievable.
fault.
Yeah, unbelievable. So she goes to close the window and she's like, and I think, and actually I shouldn't have said she realized that it was much wider than she had left it. She actually didn't realize it. She just went to close the window.
Oh,
and she said
okay.
at the time it didn't register to her, but it was wider.
Okay.
She's like, but I just didn't click at first because I think your brain doesn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
But feeling the cold, she immediately was like, something's weird. It shouldn't be this cold in here. So after closing the window, she turns around to the crib and she was going to turn on a heater in the room, and her eyes are like adjusting to the dark at this point. And so she said, I couldn't really see into the crib very well because, again, my eyes are adjusting. And she's like, so it didn't really strike her as odd that she couldn't see him right away. But she said what struck her is she couldn't hear him breathing,
Okay.
like little baby breaths.
And also he's sick, so they're probably
like
raspy.
stuffed up probably. So she's like, so I reached my hand into the crib. And she said she could feel the covers that she had placed over him, but there was no baby.
Oh fuck.
So
this is my
yeah,
worst fucking
It's
nightmare.
awful. So she's trying not to panic because she's like, okay. So she's like,
Maybe
I'm
the
going to go
parents
down
got
to
him.
exactly. I'm going to go down to Anne and Charles. Maybe Anne took the baby into her room. 'cause
Yeah,
she
you don't
would do
want to go
that.
worst
Like,
case
that's-
scenario.
Yeah. So she calls out to Anne and she's like, hey, do you have the baby? And Anne anxiously replied, no, I don't. So now concerned, Betty went downstairs to see if Charles Sr. had the baby, while Anne double-checked the nursery. But within moments, it was clear no one had the
was
baby.
not there.
As Anne and Betty tore through the house looking for the baby, Charles ran upstairs into the nursery to double-check himself. Everything appeared perfectly normal in the baby's room, except for the fact that there was no baby in there.
Mm-hmm.
In the crib, he said the blanket was still secured to the mattress with safety pins, and he said the impression of the baby's head was still in the pillow.
Oh.
And he said it was as though someone had carefully lifted him out of the crib, trying not to disturb anything. So he realizes now my son's been taken.
Yep.
And so he went to the adjoining room and he grabbed his rifle from the closet.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
With Anne and Betty following close behind him. And when they returned to the nursery again, he noticed the small white envelope resting on the windowsill.
Stop.
That Betty hadn't seen.
Oh, motherfucker. I hate this.
There was nothing written on the outside of the envelope, but inside there was a note. And it said, Dear Sir, have $50,000 ready, $2,500 in $20 bills, $1,500 in $10 bills, and $10,000 in $5 bills. After 2 to 4 days, we will inform you where to deliver the money. It's all spelled wrong, by the way. We warn you for making anything public or for the police. The child is in good care. Indication for all letters are signature and 3 holes.
What?
No idea. Now, by that time, the entire household was awake. All the staff
Yeah.
was awake and alert to what was going on. Charles took one final look around the nursery, but nothing was out of the ordinary other than that letter. So he instructed everyone to remain as calm as possible, and he insisted no one touch anything in this nursery.
Smart.
Then he went to the phone and called his lawyer, Colonel Henry Breckenridge, from and then he called the New Jersey State Police. So when Lieutenants Dunn and Bornman received the call from Lindbergh, the two officers' first instinct was that this is a prank. This is not Charles Lindbergh. Like, this is someone calling to do this. But
That's a bad first instinct.
when they hung up, they called the number back, and it was the Lindbergh house that answered. So they were like, fuck. After providing the officers with all the information, Charles hung up the phone and went outside, rifle in hand, to search for his son. Now, in the yard, just underneath the nursery window, Lindbergh and one of the staff, Ollie Wheatley, found what would be the most important piece of evidence in the case. It was a handmade wooden ladder that was
Ew.
clearly used by the kidnapper to reach the boy's window.
So creepy.
A few feet away, there was a broken piece of wood that appeared to have come off the ladder, probably when the kidnapper was climbing down from the window. Finding nothing else of note in the area outside the house, they went back inside to wait for the police. Now, around 10:30 p.m., Hopewell police officers Harry Wolfe and Charles Williamson arrived at the Lindbergh home and briefly questioned Charles, Ann, and the staff, and then they did a preliminary search of the house. From the moment the officers arrived, Charles' dominating personality was pretty evident, which, of course, he's in a state of panic.
Yeah, and that's his son, his only child.
Yeah, by that point, he was one of the biggest celebrities in the world, and he'd become accustomed to taking control of every situation he was in, particularly those involving his family and his privacy.
That was also like his
Trained.
role back then,
He's
you know?
been trained. So rather than allow the officers to go about their business as they saw fit, he followed them around the house, and as he had with his staff, demanded that the officers not touch anything in the nursery until experts came. Which I can't
I don't
I
give
wouldn't
him
do that. And I'm not saying it's a good thing to do. I'm just
No.
saying
It's
he's
understandable.
He's a parent. Like you could never say I would just sit there quietly. Like
No.
obviously it's better to let the experts do what they do best.
Of course.
I'm not saying you should involve yourself. I'm just saying, like, I can't get too mad at a parent for just wanting to be like, what's going on? What's
And
gonna
I think
happen?
I would do the same thing.
I don't know what I would do, and I can't say I wouldn't do that. But again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just
No,
saying
it's exactly.
just parent shit.
Honestly, I get it.
Now, after nearly 100 years, it's unclear what Wolfe and Williamson did and didn't notice. We still don't know. But it's almost certain they took note of the ladder in the yard and the small number of footprints leading away from the house. But whoever had taken the baby appeared to have placed cloth over their shoes. Or had gone barefoot and placed bags over their feet, which would make it impossible to measure their feet.
Wow.
Which is like pretty...
Just the fact that somebody thought of that,
yeah.
that's like mastermind
Like
shit.
those are essentially the two things that we found out that they found, that we just don't know what other evidence they, if anything, they came up with. They did, though, suggest that whoever the kidnapper was, there was a strong possibility that this was not their first criminal act.
Okay.
Now, other than the ladder and footprints leading away from the house in a southward direction, again, there was little evidence that we know of to speak in the house. Neither the ladder nor the ransom note had any fingerprints either on it.
Probably wearing gloves.
Aside from the noise Charles heard from what he thought was the kitchen while they were eating dinner, no one in the house heard any other sounds. As far as the investigators could tell, the kidnapper had probably parked their vehicle a ways away from the house and walked through the woods to get to the house.
Which means they obviously traced that route at least one other time.
Yep. And then they climbed into the nursery through the window that Betty had left open through no fault of her own. Then gently lifted the sleeping baby from the crib and went out the way they came in, which, like, the fact that the baby didn't cry or make any sound
Yeah.
they were very gentle with what they did.
Obviously. It's also just so horrifying to think that somebody or a group of people were 100% casing that house.
Yeah.
That is the part of home invasions that scares me the most. Like, it's all so scary.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like, the thought of a person casing you while you are just
Going
about your
business.
daily life and they are learning your daily life while you have no fucking idea.
That's why switch up your routines.
Switch up your
everybody.
routine.
Like,
That's why I leave my
just,
house at a different time every day.
Like, switch up your routines however you can. Switch it up. It just is.
But it's so
worth
sad
it.
that also they did switch up their routine.
That's the part that really gets you here.
Yeah.
Is
They
this
weren't
wasn't
supposed
part
to
of
be
their
there,
routine.
really.
Yeah, which we will go into for sure. This is going to be a multi-parter because it's very involved. And also the noise that Charles heard when
Was
he
the
was like,
ladder,
what was
probably?
that was the rung of the ladder breaking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he's sitting there having dinner with his wife, hears a noise, and it was somebody stealing his baby.
Yeah.
Like, that is unthinkable.
No, it truly is. And to go back and realize, like, oh,
That's what that
what
was.
I thought was just
Yeah.
innocuous was a
Was the
life-changing.
most, like, fucking malignant thing I can think of.
Yeah.
So the limited evidence found at the scene supported the theory of how the kidnapping unfolded. But there was one very important question that wasn't really answered yet. Until that night, like we were just talking about, Charles and Ann only stayed at the house on weekends. So how was it that the kidnapper knew they would be there that evening when they hadn't been there on a weeknight any other time before that? In the month or two leading up to this whole thing, the only people living at the house full time were a small number of staff. And if the kidnapper had cased the house, like we were just saying, or been watching for a number of days or weeks, they would have seen activity and might have interpreted that as indication that the family had moved in. But it's also possible they simply got lucky that night and had been completely unaware that this is the first weeknight that Charles and Ann were staying there.
Or I just wonder, too, like, were they being followed and were people listening to their conversations and
Well,
knew they were
that's-
planning on
Well, there's
moving
a
in?
third possibility that's pretty troubling, is that the kidnappers had someone on the inside
Yeah.
informing them of the couple's comings and goings.
Because it is just like, sure, you could have gotten lucky, but,
That's lucky.
well, and it's like, if you are casing that house and you know that they're not there, like, why would you come on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's the thing. Well, that whole thing of like if they got lucky is one that says they weren't casing the house. They just showed up on a random night to kidnap this kid and happened to hit the night.
And I just don't
Which
feel like that's the
could
case.
happen,
Sure.
but, like,
it could.
It's a pretty remote possibility.
And it's just like the fact that they thought this person
Yeah.
had done things in the past.
Exactly. And it's this question, how did this happen? How did they know they would be there? That hasn't been answered yet.
Yeah.
Still.
And this is
We
100
still don't know
years
how this
old.
happened.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast. Do you remember in school when you just knew that your teacher had a favorite of everything? They would always use the same blue dry erase marker when they wrote on the board, or they would talk nonstop about their favorite element during science. I had a teacher once that literally had a favorite brand of marker. She would only write with specific markers, and if another marker ended up in her classroom, she was TO'd. And honestly, I was probably her favorite student because at the end of the year, I got her that specific brand of marker. Let's talk about their real favorite thing though, their favorite tissue brand. Kleenex. According to Teacher List, they are the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are silky soft to help prevent skin irritation, and now you can take them anywhere with Kleenex Snap and Go. I absolutely love Kleenex Snap and Go. It's so perfect to have that in your car. I had a cold last week and I was just, honey, my nose was a faucet. I hate to do this to you, but it was disgusting. Drew literally came out of our garage with like 15 of the Kleenex Snap and Goes, and I put those in my glove compartment, and honey, they were easy access. It was so nice knowing that I didn't have to blow my nose into like an old wrapper that I had. Ew. So do the best thing for your kids' teachers and stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. Maybe it'll make them their teacher's favorite student. They definitely have a favorite. Don't even get me started because again, you know it was me. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
So when the news of the kidnapping hit the papers the next day, the public was just shocked to learn of Charles Jr.'s disappearance.
Yeah.
Because baby.
Also, like, was kidnapping really a thing back then?
It was definitely not a new phenomenon in the United States at this point, but
Look at me leading you into your next sentence.
you really did. But this was the first time that, the real first time that they saw like the child of a celebrity,
Like a high profile.
Yeah, somebody that like everyone knew.
Right.
All over the country.
That's what I meant.
That's exactly what you meant. All over the country, entire front pages were occupied with coverage of the kidnapping and just like various stories about the investigation. New Jersey Director of Public Safety William Egan called out the entire state police in the area, and officers conducted a house-to-house search, but they didn't find anything that way. Several miles away from the house, investigators found an abandoned sedan that they thought maybe was related to the kidnapping. But like the crime scene itself, it didn't have anything in the car to really identify a suspect, even if it was connected.
Still spooky.
That's the thing. Like, it could be connected, but they just didn't leave anything behind.
Yeah.
But they did discover something about the car. It had been stolen on the afternoon of the kidnapping from an address in Brooklyn.
Okay, so that's sus.
Yeah, which did lead investigators to conclude the car, quote, may have been used by the kidnappers in their flight from the Lindbergh home.
Okay, that's smart wording. They said maybe, maybe not.
They said, let's hedge our bets. Maybe
50-50.
Maybe not. There's two possibilities here. It was either used by the kidnappers
Or it wasn't.
or it wasn't.
Period.
And that's where we are in our investigation. Okay, so
Everybody said, oh, good, great.
yeah, awesome. That's helpful. Aside from the various details of the crime, what is pretty evident about the heavy coverage of it is the extent to which Charles Lindbergh attempted to use his power and influence to control the investigation from the start. According to historian Lloyd Gardner, Lindbergh had a very deep distrust of the authorities and doubted their ability to actually solve this case to his satisfaction. Like, for example, like the morning after the kidnapping, New Jersey Governor Harry Moore coordinated with the state legislature to offer a $25,000 reward for Charles Jr.'s safe return. When Lindbergh learned of the reward, he immediately shut it down, saying, quote, such action should be deferred for the time being while initial efforts to capture the abductors were being made. So he didn't want that award going out because he was like, we should capture the people first. And it's like, no, we know that.
It's to capture them.
And also, I think the most important thing here is to find your baby.
Yeah.
That's number one.
That feels like counterintuitive.
Well, that's what that reward does. The reward
Right.
is to find your baby or
Right.
find information about where your baby is. Yeah, we want to find who did this, but that truly would have been secondary to me.
I guess, on one hand, maybe he was just like, what if that leads to false tips or something? But
Which, of course, it is.
But also, you wouldn't get the reward unless it was a real
That's
tip.
the thing. It's
So,
part
I
of
don't
the
know.
course and that stuff.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you want to just open it up to see if anybody has a tip?
I don't really understand that.
Well, as promised in the initial ransom note, more communications from the kidnappers did arrive in the days that followed.
That's so eerie.
On March 6th, a second note arrived in the mail, postmarked 2 days earlier from Brooklyn. In it, the kidnappers increased their demand to $70,000.
Jesus.
The note said, "Dear Sir, we have warned you not to make anything public. Also notify the police. Now you have to take consequences. Means we will have to hold the baby until everything is quiet. We cannot make any appointment just now. We know very well what it means to us. Is it really necessary to make a world affair out of this? Or to get your baby back as soon as possible to settle those affairs in a quick way will be better for both. Don't be afraid about the baby. Keeping care of us day and night. We also will feed him according to the diet. We are interested to send him back in gut health." But they meant good.
Hello?
And ransom was made for $50,000, but now we have to take another person to it and probably have to keep the baby for a longer time than we expected. So the amount will be $70,000, $20,000 in $50 bills, $25,000 in $20 bills, and $15,000 in $10 bills, and $10,000 in $5 bills.
Okay.
Don't mark any bills or take them from one serial number. I'm assuming number.
Yeah.
We will form you later where to deliver the money, but we will not do so until the police is out of the case and the pappers are quiet. The kidnapping is prepared in years, so we are prepared for everything.
I'm sorry, but this is like an OG drunk text.
Yeah, it literally is.
Like,
Yeah.
hello? Did
there's
they
a
receive this
reason-
at like 3 a.m.?
There's a reason that that it comes off like what is happening in the smoke.
Oh, okay. Like it was purposeful.
We'll see.
Perhaps.
Now, 2 days later, a third note was received at the office of Lindbergh's lawyer, and it was lamenting the fact that they had not received a response, and they were reminding the family not to involve the police in their negotiations. It said, "Dear Sir, did you receive our letter from March 4th? We sent the mail on one off the letter, near Borough Hall, Brooklyn. We know police interfere with your private mail. How can we come to any arrangements this way? In the future, we will send our letters to Mr. Breckenridge at 25 Broadway." Mm-hmm. Otherwise, the note was nearly a word-for-word duplicate of the letter received the day before.
The drunk text.
Yeah, the drunk text. Now, in total, Lindbergh received a dozen ransom notes, all appearing to be written by the same person, but only those sent directly to Lindbergh contained the unusual signature in 3 holes referenced in the first note.
Okay.
Each note was clearly rife with misspellings and like what seemed to be poor grammar.
But were they like coded?
Well, it indicated that the writer maybe had some like limited formal education, especially at the time.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't poor grammar and spelling alone that stood out. The notes also had an unusual syntax to them, like the writer was not a native English speaker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that might be why, like, it seems like it's not making sense how an English speaker would say it.
Okay.
Because it would make sense for someone that is not a native
It's like
English speaker.
translating.
Yeah.
I see.
If it's being like directly translated.
Right.
You know? Now, on the day the third ransom note was received by Lindbergh's lawyer, a strange, quote, open letter appeared in the Bronx Home News, in which the writer, a retired Bronx school principal, Dr. John Condon, offered the kidnappers $1,000 if the kidnappers turned the baby over to a Catholic priest.
But they want $70K.
Yeah, so Condon said, "I offer all I can scrape together,
Oh.
so a loving mother may again have her child, and Colonel Lindbergh may know that the American people are grateful for the honor bestowed upon them by his pluck and daring."
Okay.
I kind of love that. That he was just like, I want to help.
That's nice. we love a good Samare.
Yeah. So the next day, Condon received a letter at his address in New York, believed
shit.
to be by the kidnapper.
Maybe.
It said, "Dear Sir, if you are willing to act as go-between in the Lindbergh case, please follow strictly instruction." Handel enclosed letter personally to Mr. Lindbergh. It will explain everything. Don't tell anyone about it. As soon as we find out the press or police is notified, everything are cancel, and it will be a further delay.
Okay.
So the letter instructed Condon to coordinate with Lindbergh to get the money together. And once he had done that, he was to post a notice in the classified section of the New York American only saying, "Money is ready."
Okay.
Now, according to author Richard
Feels
Cahill,
pretty like boom.
just boom. According to author Richard Cahill, the single most fascinating person involved in the Lindbergh kidnapping was Dr. John F. Condon.
Really?
In fact, like Condon appeared to come out of nowhere at a pretty crucial moment in the investigation. And while the timing is almost suspiciously convenient,
Right.
his desire to be like of some assistance to the family was by all accounts genuine.
He's just a good guy.
He was a very patriotic man, especially at a time when like being patriotic was like, you know, it was just like a different thing. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it carried so much weight back then. And he had a very like sincere love for like teaching children, helping children. His teaching extended beyond his retirement and motivated him to become an active leader in his community. Like he was just a good guy.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And like many Americans, Condon had been inspired by Charles Lindbergh's achievements in aviation and was devastated to learn of the kidnapping of his baby.
Right.
It was that like patriotism, and his commitment for the well-being of children that he really spent his life with, that led him to write the letter in the first place.
Oh.
It's unclear what, if honestly anything, he expected in return for his services. He never said he
Just
wanted
wanted
anything
to help.
back. But it's pretty unlikely that he expected to find himself at the center of the literal crime of the century is what it is called. So while Condon's open letter appeared in the Bronx Home News on March 8th, it caught the attention of the New Jersey State Police, but was ultimately dismissed as insignificant. Because after all, Charles Lindbergh received countless letters year-round from adoring fans. And those letters only increased when the news of the kidnapping broke. But when Condon received a reply from the kidnappers, they were kind of forced to take the offer more seriously. So the letter sent to Condon was the second ransom note to be received by someone other than Charles Lindbergh. The first being the letter sent to Henry Breckinridge.
His lawyer.
Like the letter received by Breckinridge, Condon's letter didn't include the 3-hole design used by the kidnapper to indicate their authenticity. But nevertheless, the letter was determined to be authentic by the authorities.
Okay.
And on the evening of March 9th, Condon found himself on the telephone with Charles Lindbergh, which must have been wild.
Yeah.
Now, to everyone's surprise, Lindbergh agreed to allow Condon to act as a go-between.
Okay.
On March 10th, Charles provided Condon with the $70,000 demanded by the kidnapper, and Condon started the negotiation with the kidnappers through newspaper classifieds. He identified himself with the code name Jafsey. 2 days later, another letter arrived at Condon's home, delivered by local cab driver Joseph Perrone. According to Joseph, the letter had been given to him by an anonymous man who paid him to deliver it. But he could remember very little about the man. The note directed Condon to a vacant lot where he found yet another note,
Oh, hate that.
which instructed him to place the money in a box and planned to bring it with him to Woodlawn Cemetery.
Oh, not a cemetery.
Yeah. Once there, he was to follow the fence in the direction of 233rd Street, where he would be met by a man referred to only as John.
That's
Isn't this
fucking
spooky as hell?
terrifying. Yeah, I would. And this is just like a random dude who's
It's like
just
a
trying to
school
help.
teacher. Like this guy's
hello?
just like, what the fuck?
But you didn't think you were gonna do all this.
No, he was like, I'm just trying to help, man. So the letters from the kidnapper didn't specify when the meeting would take place, and in the days that followed, Condon continued communicating through the newspapers, trying not only to pin down a date and time he was supposed to do this, but also to secure some proof from the letter writers that they were in fact the kidnappers and not just like setting him up.
Right.
To that end, on March 16th, a 7th ransom note arrived at Condon's address. And that included the Dr. Denton sleeping suit that Betty Gow had put Charles Jr. in before putting him to bed that night.
Oh, that's awful.
That sends me into orbit.
Yeah.
The idea of the little sleeping suit.
No.
Because I just remember putting my babies into those
Their
little sleep sacks. Oh, getting that would be
And it
the end
probably
of me.
smells like baby.
Oh, the suit was passed along to Lindbergh, who confirmed that it was his son's suit.
Oh, that's fucking bleak.
So it's important to point out that all of the negotiations between John Condon and the kidnappers and John Condon and the Lindberghs were happening outside the official investigation.
Oh, okay.
This was like a whole side quest.
Which you can understand because they're being told,
Yeah.
like, don't involve the authorities.
I get it. Lindbergh's desperate need to be in control of the situation and his distrust of the police and them saying don't involve the police It kind of led him to undertake his own investigation.
Yeah.
And it was coordinated by and executed by his lawyers and a lot of like private investigators. So
All right. So there were professionals
at least.
involved.
Now, according to historian Lloyd Gardner, the fact that Lindbergh kept the ransom notes and the plan to meet with the kidnappers from police would become one of the primary reasons that suspicions would later fall on Lindbergh himself.
Interesting.
Because, like, once they found that out, they were like, what the fuck's going on? Why didn't you involve us?
Yeah, I mean, I get
Which
that.
you get.
You see both sides of that pretty easily.
You absolutely can.
You know?
Yeah, because you can see why authorities would look at that and go,
What the fuck
excuse
are you
me,
doing?
what? You didn't want to find your kid by
Right.
involving us? Like, what the fuck?
Right.
But then you get, like, when that's how, I can't imagine
They're saying,
how that feels.
don't involve the police.
Yeah.
So.
Now, finally, after weeks of waiting, Condon received a note from the kidnappers on April 1st, instructing him to have the money ready for the exchange the next evening.
Imagine Anne right now, and like obviously Charles too, like weeks
Just
with your
waiting
baby,
around.
your little baby,
like a
in
baby.
your brand new giant house, just like waiting for your baby's return.
With that nursery just sitting there empty.
I can't.
like-
I can't.
So the next afternoon, the 11th ransom note was delivered to Condon's home by an anonymous cab driver who said he'd been given the note by a man that he didn't know and paid to deliver it, just like the first. The note provided directions to a greenhouse on East Tremont Street in the Bronx, where Condon found the 12th and final note. The 12th and final note said, cross the street and walk to the next corner and follow Whittemore Avenue to the Sound. Take the money with you. Come alone and walk. I will meet you. So Condon did as he was instructed, and that evening he found himself in the cemetery waiting to meet that man known as John. Mm-hmm. After a few minutes of waiting, he was flagged down by a man waving a handkerchief, whom he assumed to be his contact.
Yeah.
Later, he would describe the man as being of average height and weight, with large ears and a pointy chin. The only distinctive feature that he noticed was that the man had a large lump at the base of his left thumb that appeared to be some kind of like physical imperfection.
Okay.
So in exchange for the money, Condon was given the last written communication anyone would receive from the kidnappers, instructing him where to go to find Charles Lindbergh Jr. They said, the boy is on the boat Nellie. It is a small boat, 28 feet long. 2 persons are on the boat. They are innocent. You will find the boat between Horseneck Beach and Gay Head near Elizabeth Island. Mm-hmm. Talking about Massachusetts here.
I was just going to say, wait a second, Horseneck?
Martha's Vineyard. So Condon raced home and immediately gave the information to Lindbergh. After a month of just anxiety and heartbreak, it seemed like the ordeal was finally going to come to an end.
Also, imagine missing, like, obviously we know what happens here, but they think they're getting their baby.
Yeah.
It's like, and you're like, oh my God, I missed out on a month of my first child's life.
And what kind of trauma are they going to have from this? Now, Lindbergh made arrangements with the U.S. Navy to borrow a seaplane. And he and Breckenridge flew to Martha's Vineyard.
Imagine just dialing up the Navy and being like, hey, can I borrow a plane?
I got to go to Martha's Vineyard. So they went to Massachusetts to retrieve his son. Once they reached the area around Martha's Vineyard, they scanned the water below, looking for the boat supposedly named Nellie, but found nothing.
Oh, fuck.
After a brief break to refuel, they went up again and continued the search until the sun went down, but they never found any boat. Oh. That evening, when it was clear that there was no boat to be found, Lindbergh and Breckenridge returned to Long Island from there, and they took a car to the Lindbergh estate in Hopewell. Mm-hmm. So the failure to find their baby in Martha's Vineyard caused John Condon tremendous guilt and anxiety.
Oh, I'm sure.
He had idolized Charles Lindbergh and genuinely believed that by just helping and acting as a go-between, he could rescue his little boy and be a hero to him.
Right.
But now it looked like his efforts had just been for nothing. Not only had they not rescued Charles Jr., but he had also lost them the ransom money.
Oh, fuck.
Or that's how he felt, you know?
Right.
In the days that followed, Condon placed another ad in the Bronx Home News that read in all caps, "What is wrong? Have you crossed me? Please, better directions, Jaffsy." Unfortunately, his plea received no reply from the kidnapper. Now, weeks passed with no word and no progress in the official and unofficial investigations. Then on May 12th, the mystery of Charles Lindbergh Jr.'s whereabouts was pretty tragically solved. Not by police, but by a stranger completely unconnected to the case. That afternoon, New Jersey truck driver William Allen was driving a load of lumber to a location in Hopewell, And about 4.5 miles from the Lindbergh house, he went into the woods, just ducked in to relieve himself before going back into his car. He hadn't made it more than 50 or 60 feet into the woods when he made a terrible discovery. A few feet in front of him, covered in dirt and debris, was the child's skull.
Oh, God.
Not certain what he was looking at first, he ducked his head down for a closer look, and he said he saw a small foot.
Oh.
So he raced to the nearest police station and reported what he had found, then accompanied several officers and Hunterdon County Coroner William Swayze back to the gravesite. The body of the little boy was laying on its side and was badly decomposed. It had been picked at by animals and scavengers.
So the whole time that Condon was communicating with the
he was in
quote-unquote
the
kidnappers, this baby was
And they're
not
talking about
alive.
how he's healthy and they're feeding him his diet and everything's fine.
I know that the authorities at the time, or like the unofficial authorities, believed that they were actual communications. Do people widely believe that they were?
We'll get into that.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
But yeah, it was this poor little body was badly decomposed, but there was
Yeah.
no denying it was the body of a baby. Because of the position that the remains had been left, which was the face was pointed towards the ground. The only good thing was that investigators were able to photograph the child's face, which was mostly intact because it was faced towards the ground. After comparing the photographs to those of Charles Lindbergh Jr. provided by the family, inspectors from the state police identified the body as that of Charles Lindbergh Jr.
Oh, that's
But before making the identification official, detectives took the small scraps of clothing found with the body to the Lindbergh house, where Lindbergh and Betty Gow both confirmed that they were a match for the clothing the baby was wearing the night he disappeared. The disappearance of Charles Lindbergh Jr. was now a murder investigation.
Oh, man.
And we are going to stop there
Yeah.
for part 2.
That was a lot.
We're going to get into the hunt for the killer. We're going to get into theories. We're going to get into mysteries, things that still make us say, huh, about this case. All of it. Because it's not over.
I guess not.
It doesn't end there.
I know I don't know all the theories. I
Yeah.
like, obviously I know this case, but I don't know
It's a wild
all
one.
the nitty gritty.
That's the thing with this case. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. And
So we will get into it in part 2.
all right, I'm interested, but yeah, definitely a good place to stop. That was sad.
Yeah, it really is. That poor
Tragic.
baby.
Yeah. All right. Do you have a fun fact for us?
There were active volcanoes on the moon when dinosaurs were alive.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's metal as fuck.
The only appropriate reaction to that fact.
Yeah.
That
Hell
fact.
yeah. That fact.
That fact. There was
That fact
volcanoes.
was so fun.
That fact was fun. Volcanoes on the moon. Oh my god.
Dinosaurs, which, by the way, another fun fact. You should check out that show on Netflix called Dinosaurs.
I
Sick.
should. Okay.
Sick.
Party.
So good.
Let's go.
Go watch that, guys.
I'ma.
The kids love it.
All right. Well, we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
Keep
it
weird. But not so weird that you don't give yourself a little palate cleanser by checking out the show Dinosaurs on Netflix.
Do it. It's
That's
fun.
not even an ad. Elena just likes it with her children.
Dinosaurs.
Bye. Moon.
Not the mama.
Oh, that was from the show Dinosaurs.
Oh, it's not the same one.
I know it's totally different, but I still think that made sense.
You wouldn't take financial advice from a 72 hours in a single day alpha influencer, would you? Same goes if you're in a car accident or any accident. Who you choose matters. That's why Morgan & Morgan exists. They're the largest injury law firm in America, and they've built a reputation by actually winning cases, not just talking about it. Over 1,000 lawyers across all 50 states and $30 billion recovered. Injured? Go to forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast.
Sometimes life will get you stressed out. Lucky you can always count on text now. Text now. Free talk, free text, free 5G, and they'll never shut you off. 'Cause like I said, it's free. Text now's got your back. Nationwide, no long-term contracts. So don't be nervous about losing service. Text now's got your back. That's their sense of purpose. No matter what comes next, you've got free talk and text with the Text Now app. Download it today.
Wireless plans require the purchase of a SIM card. Visit textnow.com for terms and conditions.